Hello and very warm welcome to the sessions on Indian economy rapid revision series. As we are aware that on the YouTube channel of Victory IAS, we are discussing 2 years rapid revision current affairs program, and I'm discussing topics related to economy as of now. So we have already discussed many a topics so far, and we were discussing currently changes related to some sectors, right? In which we have already discussed this mandatory hallmarking schemes. So few topics we have discussed from here, and now we will start from this particular topic: prevent cartelization. Now let's understand what is the meaning of cartelization first. When we say cartelization, this I hope you are aware of the terms related to monopoly, oligo, poly, etc. So when we talk about monopoly, only one particular supplier is controlling entire market, right? That is monopoly, one supplier. A few suppliers, oligopoly, right? When we talk about this cartelization, what happens since India is having mixed economy system. In mixed economy we have producers, both kind of producers, public as well as private. When we say public producers, that means owned by the government. We have private also, right? Private players are also there in the market. When these private players form a group, right, cartel, that is known as what? Cartel. When they form a group and deliberately they try to manipulate market according to their profiteering and profitability. So when they do these kind of grouping, it is known as cartelization, right? So preventing these cartelization, I hope you got the meaning. When private firms related to any particular sector, when they form their group and they want to control the market, it is known as cartelization, right? So they are forming group and they want to dictate market, that is cartelization. So to prevent cartelization, there is Competition Commission of India, right? So for example, it has prevented the cartelization of cement companies, right? Competition Commission of India imposed a fine of $910 million on 11 cement companies for cartelization in June 2012. Undertake competition advocacy, create public awareness, and impart training on competition issues. This is the function of Competition Commission of India, right? Ensure smooth alignment of sectoral regulatory laws and competition laws. It has ensured that there is proactive engagement with all stakeholders, including consumers, industry, government, and international jurisdiction. We have already seen many a times what are the functions of Competition Commission of India with another topics as well, right? So this is Competition Commission of India eliminating those practices which are adverse to competition. For example, you might have heard about this Jio case in the past, right? Reliance Jio, when it was offering free services, free data and telecommunication services, then CCI, Competition Commission of India, was the authority where people reached and complained about the adverse. It is this kind of practice, that is giving free telecommunication service, is adverse to competition. Undertake capacity building and competition advocacy. Ensure freedom of trade in the market. Promote and sustain competition, right? I already explained you in the past. We had this MRTP commission established under MRTP Act, right? Established under MRTP Act. Now Competition Commission of India has replaced this MRTP Commission. Although MRTP Commission was abolished way back and Competition Commission of India formed in 2009, but we can understand that Competition Commission of India is a kind of advanced body with respect to MRTP Commission, right? So promote and sustain competition, promote and the interest of consumers, give opinion on competition issues. This is Competition Commission of India. In recent we have seen the Competition Amendment Bill 2002 and its increased efficiency. It has been introduced to improve regulatory setup by increasing the Competition Commissions of India's accountability, giving it flexibility and enforcement efficiency. Now, what kind of changes which was proposed as a change in Competition Commission? So increasing transparency and strengthening the accountability. A board with part-time members to supervise CCI activities. CCI to mandatorily issue penalty guidelines and give reason in case of any divergence. Enforcement efficiency, if we talk about, CCI could engage in structured negotiation with parties and arrive at mutually workable solution without having to go through lengthy formal proceedings, right? Limitation, if we talk about, the bill does title to address, bill does very little to address the competition concerns in digital markets, because as we have seen now with the rise of e-commerce and increasing its volume in trade, we can understand that there can be fraudulent activities taking place in online marketing or digital marketing also. Competition Commission of India, in this particular concern, it is very less that has been talked about in this particular bill. Example, merger concerns in digital market between entities that do not have significant assets or turnover but are still very significant, such as when Facebook acquired WhatsApp. No effective clause for regulation of anti-competitive conduct by digital platforms. Initiative taken by CCI to address new age challenge initiative. Description, for example, this streamlining process, all these digital e-commerce platforms, etc. So CCI has enhanced the efficiency of investigation and decision making process, resulting in reduced time for investigation and decisions, ultimately improving overall market efficiency. Addressing this digital economy challenges. So to address digital economy challenge, CCI is concentrating on scrutinizing practices such as predatory pricing. Deliberately you are keeping your price low so that you can capture a huge market, or you are not allowing your competitor to sell in the market because you have kept your prices deliberately low and you are trying to control the market, right? And data monopolization employed by tech giants in the digital economy to ensure fair competition and prevent market distortion, right? This is related to steps taken by CCI. Regulatory framework evolution. CCI is continuously updating its regulatory framework to remain robust and flexible. As you can understand, the business environment is changing, and if business environment is changing, business practices are changing. For example, with the advent of artificial intelligence, this large language model programs and all, now content with respect to anything, making a content, writing articles has become easier. But who will protect the copyrights, right? Who will protect the copyrights? Who will protect the kind of patents that are there outside? So for that purpose, CCI has to regularly update their framework for evolution. Regulate has to update regulatory framework, aligning with emerging market dynamics and preparing for potential future challenges, right? If we talk about international cooperation, CCI actively collaborates with global entities, engaging in knowledge sharing initiative and working towards harmonizing regulation to ensure effective enforcement in the international context. As we can understand that now the businesses and the entire trade, etc., this is not having a kind of within border activities, they are across border activities. For example, with the establishment of MNCs, etc., we see that there is a kind of global practices that are there. MNCs are there which are not restricting their operations in only one country. So we should have a collaborative effort. You can also link it with sustainable development goal number 17, where we talked about international partnership and cooperation, right? Conclusion. Competition Commission of India should enhance its effort and reach to the technological nuances of the new digital era and ensure whether these markets are being fairly, effectively and transparently used for the benefit of consumers, right? Although we understand that when we talk about this entire digital era, this entire private firms and the participation of private entities, the only objective here is to earn profit. But Competition Commission of India as a regulator has the objective to ensure that we should also think about, or one of the objectives should be the benefit of the consumers, right? I hope this is clear. Now let's move to the next topic, that is related to simplifying production linked scheme for white goods. White goods related to AC, air conditions, refrigerators, LED lights, etc. So when we talk about PLI scheme, what is PLI scheme? So it is production linked incentive. Production linked incentives, right? What if you are able to sell this much volume, right? The volume, it depends on many factors are there. So if you are able to sell this much volume, this much numbers, right, then you will be getting some benefit from the government, some incentives from the government, right? Now we have seen, since all these PLI, production linked incentives, mainly objective is here, the main objective here is to enhance production in India, right? It is about Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is self-reliant India, right? Now, when we talk about self-reliant India, so as we have already discussed in the past that in industrial sector, manufacturing is having a lot of potential. We are having this deficit with respect to balance of trade. So what we want to do is we want to enhance our production, right? Our manufacturing, and to enhance that, there are some benefits that the government is giving, so that government can attract people to go for these kind of activities in the economy, right? I hope we are able to understand this. Now, the production linked incentive, that is PLI scheme for white goods, which covers air conditions and LED lights, has witnessed further improvements in response to suggestion from industry association and beneficiaries. These changes are aimed at simplifying the scheme's operation and improving the ease of doing business in India. If we talk about the key changes that has been done in the PLI scheme, the government has implemented several key changes to the PLI scheme, which are as follows. Number one, adoption of cost plus method, right? Now, how we will be taking care of what kind of production you have done, right? So, for example, captive selling is also there sometimes. What do you mean by captive selling? If, for example, I have a few group of companies, right, and I am producing something, like for example, I am an automobile company, and I am also producing tires, right, for example, right? So wheels, that you can understand, wheels of automobile. If I am also into manufacturing of wheels, that is wheels of vehicles, and I am myself is selling those wheels to my own company, which is into the manufacturing of automobiles as well. So that is known as what? Captive selling. So rules related to that. The schemes now uses the cost plus method instead of comparable uncontrolled price method to calculate sale price, especially in case of captive consumption. I hope we can understand the meaning of captive consumption, or supplies to group companies, right? If one group is having many subsidiaries and one subsidiary is selling to another subsidiary. These changes also involved an alteration in the definition of arm's length. Now, if we talk about eligibility of tool room investment, right? You are investing in your working capital, for example, equipments and all. So investment in tool rooms for manufacturing items like molds and dies are now considered eligible investment under capital investment. So whatever investment you are doing into this will be considered as capital investment, right? Now, extension of establishing manufacturing facilities. Now, beneficiaries now have an additional year beyond the previously allowed 2 years to inform authorities about the establishment of new manufacturing facility, right? Also, revising the deadline for claim submission, that is the last date for submitting claims and requesting funds for excessive incentives due to discrepancies between statutory compliance and records provided at the time of filing claims, has been revised, right? Administrative ministry site visits. So site visits by the administrative ministry have been introduced to ensure the scheme's smooth operation, right? So that there can be one kind of supervisory activity that can be there when ministries are or administrators are visiting sites. Now, rollover of bank guarantees. What do we mean by rollover? For example, when you have taken some fund, right, and that fund you are not, that loan or that borrowing you are not able to pay on time, what will happen? It will have a rollover impact in the economy. So rollover bank guarantees can now be rolled over as part of the scheme's provision. So it can be rolled over, that means more fundings and can be infused, right? Adjustment in schemes guidelines annexures. Appropriate changes have been made to the annexures of the scheme guidelines. Now, what is the background of this PLI scheme? The PLI scheme, as I have already explained you, goods was approved by the cabinet on April 7, 2021, with the aim of promoting Atmanirbhar Bharat, or self-reliant India. It was officially notified by the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, that is DPIIT, on April 16, 2021. This scheme spans 7 years from financial year 22 to 29 with a total outlay of 6,000 crore approximately. The scheme guidelines were published on June 4, 2021. But what you have to remember in this entire discussion, you have to remember that PLI is a scheme for Atmanirbhar Bharat, and it has adjusted, or it has given some new guidelines with respect to white goods, right? That is more than sufficient for us. This progress and impact. Stakeholder consultation have been crucial for the scheme's successful implementation. Two corrigenda to the scheme guidelines were issued on August 16, 2021 and February 24, 2022 to ensure a smoother process. As of now, 15 out of 64 selected beneficiaries who opted for the gestation period up to March 31, 2022 have commenced commercial production. Gestation period, the period between investment and earning profit. The remaining beneficiaries who choose a gestation period to March 31, 2023 are in various stages of implementation. Empowering India's white good industry. The PLI scheme for white good is designed to establish a comprehensive component ecosystem for the air conditioner and LED light industry in India. The aim to position India as an integrated part of global supply chain, right? So, because after COVID or this entire geopolitical system issues, the world is in the search of China plus one. That is, one more country should be there where the manufacturing should be cheaper, infra support should be there like China has done. The DPIIT anticipates a substantial increase in domestic value addition, rising from the current 15 to 20% to 75 to 80%, thereby promoting self-reliance and strengthening India's position in the global manufacturing landscape. So it is about PLI scheme related to white goods. Now let's discuss another topic, authorized economic operator status, right? So this diamond jewelry etc has got this status so that it will help in promoting ease of doing business in this particular sector. The Ministry of Finance has granted authorized economic operator AEO status to gem and jewelry sector as part of the effort to promote ease of doing business. Asian Star, a leading diamond and diamond jewelry manufacturer, became the first in the industry to receive AEO status, right? It operates under the World Customs Organization (WCO) SAFE framework. Its goal is to boost international supply chain security and smooth the movement of lawful goods aligned with the World Trade Organization Trade Facilitation Agreements. That is, WTO Trade Facilitation Agreements allows Indian Customs to strengthen cargo security through collaboration with key stakeholders in the international supply chain. Right, an entity with an AEO status is considered a secure trader and a reliable trading partner. Benefits of AEO status includes expedited clearance time, few examination, and improved security and communication between supply chain partners. In India, if we talk about the AEO program, a voluntary initiative was introduced by the Central Board of Industry Indirect Taxes, that is CBIC, Indirect Taxes and Customs in India 2011. Aim to simplify custom procedure and expedite clearance for businesses, demonstrating high security standards in the supply chain. So it is mainly related to supply chain and secured supply chain, right? So that is why gem and jewelry industry is there, right? Now India extends auto PLI scheme tenure, offers more flexibility. We have already seen what is PLI scheme, we have already seen what is automobile sector, right? So the production linked incentive program for the automobile sector has been extended by 1 year through March to 2028. Simultaneously, amended rules provide added clarity and concessions to approved applicant, right? To approved applicant. Now, this revised incentive timeline, initially envisaged for 5 years starting 23-24, initiative will now be available in 23-24 investment year, 24-25 to 27-28, 5 consecutive years on disbursement against sales thresholds, right? If PLI scheme is about, if you cross the sales threshold, some target will be given. If you cross this, you will be having some incentives, right, will be given. The extension allows company more time to leverage the PLI fund of rupees 25 or approximately 26,000 crore for boosting domestic manufacturing and exports. If we talk about relaxed eligibility ROM, then in this relaxed eligibility ROM, if participants fail to meet the year-on-year growth criteria, that means your this year growth will be compared from the previous year growth. For payouts in any given fiscal, they remain eligible for the next year's incentive if targets are achieved then. So if this particular year somehow you miss the target, if next year also you meet the target, then next year you will be eligible for the benefits of PLI scheme. This protects serious investors who prioritize upfront capacity installation. What do we mean by upfront capacity installation? That means you are building your capacity first, and let's see how much production can be done in coming years. Moreover, meeting targets for 5 of the 6 years is adequate for obtaining subsidies overall. If we analyze this particular development, then what we can see here, the moves signal the government's adaptive support for strategic sectors like autos, even amid economic uncertainties. Enhancing PLI duration and introducing reasonable safeguards boost industry confidence while ensuring rigorous monitoring of public funds. Now, by providing policy stability coupled with pragmatic concession, India aims to consolidate its position in global automotive supply chains, right? Because now one particular firm is not manufacturing the entire products that are being used in automobile industry, so there is a kind of supply chain available for everything. Now, scrap steel is also one of the very important sector that is there in our economy, because scrap steel is those kind of those steels which have not been utilized, or now which are dysfunctional, which are not being used. So how we can reuse this, that is the field of scrap steel, right? It also help in some sustainable development practices, because now you don't have to burn a lot of coal to get steel from the iron ore, so it helps in that way also. So when we talk about this responsible consumption or environmentally responsible production, this scrap steel also comes in that particular dimension only, because now whatever we are producing, we are recycling the kind of existing material out there, right? So that is related to scrap steel. Now let's see, the Indian government aims to raise the share of scrap in steel production to 50% by 2047. Scrap steel also, economic survey has talked about scrap steel this year when it was giving updates on industry. Scrap steel refers to recycled steel derived from discarded or unused metal products, industrial waste, or end of life vehicles, right? When the life of vehicle ended, so whatever steel we can recover from there, that is also part of scrap steel. It is processed and reused in steel production, contributing to sustainability by reducing the need for raw materials and minimizing environmental impact, right? That is also the concern, minimizing environmental impact to get the kind of steel that we are getting. So scrap steel, if we can use, then we can minimize the kind of greenhouse gases emission and other environmental degradation that is taking place from the steel industry. Currently, scrap contributes around 30 to 35% of India's overall steel production. We also import as well the scrap steel from outside. Using scrap in steel production is considered less polluting and is expected to contribute to environmental sustainability. India's steel sector accounts for 12% of India's carbon dioxide emission, that is CO2 emission, which is a greenhouse gas, and it is contributing in global warming. So the kind of targets that we have set for us in this Paris Agreement, etc., so that for that purpose it will help in achieving those targets. India currently ranks as the world's second largest producer of crude steel. Other important initiative for scrap steel: National Steel Policy 2017 aim for 300 million ton steel capacity by 2030, with 35 to 40% from EAF route or utilizing mostly recycled scrap. When we talk about this EAF route, this is electric arc furnace, and BOF, that is blast furnace, basic oxygen furnace, are steel making methods. Steel Scrap Recycling Policy 2019 aims to enhance domestic scrap availability to reduce coal consumption in steel production. A lot of coal is being burned, and that results into CO2 emission, which is a greenhouse gas. Execution using nitrogen gas. A federal appeal court in Alabama has ruled that the state can carry out its first execution using nitrogen gas, right? This execution of people, etc. The process: execution by nitrogen gas involves administration of pure nitrogen to the condemned person. The method typically includes placing a respiratory face mask over the nose and mouth to place breathable air with nitrogen, causing death from lack of. This is not important for us. We can move ahead, but we can understand that for this entire manufacturing and what kind of different gases can be used, but not much important for us here. Sponge iron industry. When we talk about sponge iron, it is the iron that we obtain from iron ore through reduction process, right? In chemistry you might have heard about this reduction process or reduction reaction, where we are using reducing oxygen, right? That is known as reduction reaction. India's sponge iron industry faces an ore shortage due to rampant export of iron ore, its crucial raw material. So from iron ore we are getting sponge iron. Sponge iron, also known as direct reduced iron (DRI), is produced from the direct reduction of iron ore. When we talk about direct reduction of from lumps, pellets, or fines into metallic iron through a reduction reaction is a chemical process at high temperature, right? When we talk about production process, sponge iron is produced by removing oxygen. So if we say reduction, that means removal of oxygen. Reduction means what? Removal of oxygen. In chemistry we study this, so as of now this is not important. But why we are studying here iron? Because it is a important industry in when we talk about industrial structure. Iron ore is one of the important industrial sector, right? Iron ore through a reduction process in a rotatory kiln or fluidized bed reactor. This process occurs at high temperature, typically above 1000 degrees Celsius, and involves the use of reducing agents such as coal or natural gas. End use is sponge iron reserves serves as a crucial raw material in the steel making industry. If we talk about advantage, then sponge iron production offers several advantages, including lower production cost compared to traditional steel making method, higher purity of final product, and reduced environmental impact due to lower emission of greenhouse, right? Leading producer. India has been the world's largest sponge iron producing nation since 2003, with 30% of India's steel production coming from this particular route. Now, if we talk about iron ore export that is being done and we are facing shortage, the shortage of sponge iron in India is attributed to the high rate of iron ore export, leaving minimal quantities for domestic use by secondary steel sector players, right? If we talk about export dynamics here, iron ore exports including pellets are almost tripled in 2023, reaching 44 million tons. This surge followed the withdrawal of export duty on iron ore. So why this export has surged? Because withdrawal of export duty on iron ore with less than 58% ferrous in November 2022. Ferrous is element of iron only. Policy objectives, if we talk about the National Steel Policy 2017 aims to increase the sponge iron production also to 80 MTPA by 2030-31, achieved a target steel production capacity of 300 million tons. Now, since this is a very important sector which is also contributing in sustainable environment, that is why the calls for action is several state-based sponge iron manufacturing association have appealed to the Union Steel Ministry to ban all forms of iron ore exports due to the severe shortage of raw material. So it should be banned. That is the idea here, so that we can increase the production of this sponge iron, right, through this route. Now, National Textile Corporation, very important, one of the very important sector, the textile sector, where we were actually performing well. We have a lot of potential in textile sector also, but due to some policy issues, we faced some challenges in this particular textile sector. Vietnam, Bangladesh is giving tough competition to India in international market. But if we can make right policies, we can implement right policies, then maybe we can get our position back in textile, right? It's a very important sector in economy. Union Textile Ministry will form a committee to speed up the redevelopment of land under 9 mills of the National Textile Corporation in Mumbai. Those mills are since earlier the mill workers used to live nearby the mills only, and there are the kind of row houses, also known as row houses, also known as chawl in Mumbai, right? Chawl. So that development has to be taken place, right? Redevelopment of land under 9 mills. So a total of 11 chawls, that is row houses, exist on the land of these 9 mills, and resident of these chawls will now get 405 square feet houses, as compared with their current 100 to 150 square feet houses that minister has said. Now, if we talk about National Textile Corporation, it is a central public sector undertaking under the ownership of Ministry of Textile. It owns 23 working textile mills which produces yarn and fabric. The company was incorporated in 1968, right? Now, beggars corporation, very important, right? If you can also use this information in your social issues as well, and effort in this entire society social justice topic, right? What happened basically here, that beggars are receiving significant amount of donation in an year, right? Now that particular fund will be used, that people will be donating that fund, beggars basically, and that fund will be used to impart skill to the beggars so that they can have better employment opportunities, right? Better employment opportunities. Beggars Corporation, a Varanasi based startup, has received the best social impact award in Inno Innopreneurs Global Startup Contest. Now, if we talk about this, it is the only for-profit company in the beggars world working towards making corporate crorepati extremely poor people, right? Corporation Making corporation extremely poor people, creators and on owners of wealth. Now let's see, aim, if we can study from here, aim is to make beggars self-sufficient by turning them into entrepreneurs, right, through the conversion of donations into social investment. So skills will be imparted. How does it work? So Indians donate around 34,000 crore annually to India's 413,000 beggars. Beggars Corporation aims to use this donated money to train beggars into employment generators and build the capacity for startups, right? If we talk about usage of it, this example can be used to show value of empathy, social impact, innovation, empowerment and social responsibility, etc. Now if we talk about Indian handmade portal, right, for weavers, right, who are artisans, weavers, etc., who are using production, basically production is through hand. India handmade portal is an e-commerce portal launched by the government with the aim of empowering artisans and weavers by providing them a platform to sell their products directly to customers. This initiative is part of the government's effort to promote local artisans and craftsmanship and support the vocal for local movement. As Pradhan Mantri has said, vocal for local, and we should be using production or we should be using the products made by local firms or local in local settings. A platform for artisans and weavers. This India Handmade portal provides a platform for artisans and weavers to showcase their products to wide customer base. More than 35 lakh handloom weavers products and other over 27 lakh handicraft artisans product are available directly to consumer through the portal. So it is directly linking these artisans and weavers to the customers. Customers can find a variety of products including clothing, home decor, this jewelry, accessories and other handmade items by skilled artisans. It connects artisans and weavers directly to buyers through a common platform, eliminating the need for middlemen and ensuring that artisans and weavers get fair value for their products. What we have seen over the period of time, that when it comes to this handmade production, etc., in these cases we have seen middlemen is getting large chunk of the amount that they get after selling it, and weavers are deprived of the kind of profit that these commodities are making. Opportunities for e-entrepreneurship is also there. So India Handmade portal offers an opportunity for weavers and artisans to become future e-entrepreneurs, right? Because electronically portal is there. A total of 62 lakh weavers and artisans can leverage the portal to expand their reach and access a larger customer base. The portal provides free hand holding to sellers from registration till order fulfillment, helping them with logistics, payments and other aspects of online selling. This empowers weavers and artisans within the necessary tool and support to become successful e-entrepreneurs and grow their business, right? If we talk about customer friendly feature in this particular portal, so India Handmade portal offers several customer friendly features. The portal does not charge any commission from seller, ensuring that artisans and weavers receive the full value of their products. Free shipping is provided to customers, right? Free shipping is provided to customers, making it convenient and so cost effective for them to purchase product from the portal. It also provides a return option to customers, ensuring a seamless buying experience, right? Otherwise, people may fear that if they purchase and product is not up to the mark, then they are having no option. So there is a return policy is also there. Multiple payment gateways are available for customers to pay online, providing flexibility and convenience in payment option. Now, if we talk about government's efforts to promote artisans and weavers, then India Handmade Portal is part of the government's broader efforts to promote artisans and weavers in India. The portal complements the PM Vikas initiative by providing platform for artisan and weavers to showcase their products and sell them directly to customers. PM Vishwakarma Kaushal Samman Yojana, that is PM Vikas, aims to provide small artisans and craftsmen, that is umbrella scheme that you can talk about, PM Vikas, on quality, scale and reach, as well as access to advanced skill training, modern digital techniques, brand promotion, linkage with local and global markets, digital payments and social security. PM Ustad is also with respect to the kind of skills that are there that one can get from their family members, right? That is PM Ustad scheme also there in this, right? Now, task force for decarbonization of steel sector. We have already seen just now that steel production is using a lot of burning of carbon, right? Carbon is coal. Coal is being burned, and this burning of coal results into carbon dioxide emission, which is a greenhouse gas, and it results into global warming eventually. So that is decarbonization. Decarbonization, the steel industry, a cornerstone stone for modern infrastructure and development. As we have seen that steel is having a lot of use in infrastructure, building this bridges, etc. So every infrastructure need the use of steel as well, and other factors are also there. For example, utensils and other durable goods also employ the need of steel, is now under the spotlight for its environmental impact, right? Because coal burning, now we have to reduce greenhouse gases emission, etc. So reduction of greenhouse gases is needed, and this reduction of greenhouse gases, etc., is having some binding, we are having some binding targets as well, right? So let's understand this. In a strategic move towards greener and more sustainable future, the government has unveiled a comprehensive plan that revolves around the formation of 13 task force, each aimed at addressing key challenges and opportunities within the industry. The initiative come as a response to the urgent need of decarbonize the steel sector and promote eco-friendly practices. If we talk about sustaining the steel through task force, the government commitment to sustainability is evident in the establishment of 13 task force consisting of industry experts, academia, think tank and various ministries, because we cannot compromise with production of steel as well, right? We have to form ways, we have to find the kind of ways that we can use to produce steel without the carbon emission, etc., right? So that is why decarbonization. These task force have a common goal, that is to deliberate on strategic and recommendation that can steer the steel industry towards more environmentally conscious path. Skill development for green steel. One of the task forces focused on skill development aim to drive discussion on skilling, upskilling and reskilling of the workforce, specifically geared towards the production of green steel, right? This initiative not only emphasizes the importance of human capital in sustainable steel production, but also underscores the significance of knowledge transfer in creating a greener industry. So we cannot compromise with steel production. There is a need for infrastructure development in India, right? So we cannot compromise with those things. We need production of steel, but maybe we can find some ways where we can emit less carbon and zero emission also, we can think of it. That is why more skill development is there for the workforce, right? When we are transitioning from one production method to another, we need skilling of workforce, right? So or reskilling of workforce, etc., is needed. Setting quality standards and recycling policies, so to ensure the quality of steel products and promote circular economy. Circular economy means reuse, right? Whatever you are producing, so if any waste is there, so waste is also being utilized for further production. That is circular economy, right? Rethink before before producing anything. First rethink that whether do you really need this product is actually needed, or just for the sake of selling it and earning profit you are producing it. So that kind of thing is also there. That is circular economy, where waste is also being utilized. Recycling, mainly focus on recycling and promote a circular economy. The Ministry of Steel has introduced a stringent adherence to specified quality standards, because if it will be used in infrastructure and all. So if we are downgrading the qualities maybe in our infrastructure may suffer loss. A total of 145 Indian standards have been notified guaranteeing top-notch products regardless of their source material. Additionally, the steel scrap recycling policy of 2019 stands out the critical milestone in bolstering and the availability of domestically generated scrap, because that is why the steel scrap is also associated with this. By promoting recycling, this policy contributes to reducing reliance on coal in the steel manufacturing process, thus promoting an eco-friendly production landscape, right? Now, when we talk about some innovation in this particular industry, so embracing innovation, BAT and utilization. Number one, the steel industry pursuit of progress is evident in adoption of best available technologies, that is BAT on a global scale. This commitment to embrace cutting edge technologies not only modernizes and expand the industry, but also enhances efficiency, quality and sustainability in its operation. So whatever best available practices or best available technologies are there to produce steel, so that less carbon emission can be there, that we are ready to adapt, and that will not only help us in modernizing the steel industry, but also having environmentally sustainable behavior, right? Towards a greener horizon, that is with a multifaceted approach encompassing skill development, recycling policies and cutting edge technologies, the government's initiative aim to transform the steel industry into beacon of sustainability. By actively involving various stakeholders and creating a specialized task force, the government sets the stage for a greener and more innovative future. As the industry shifts its focus towards utilization, recycling and quality, it's clear that the number of task force, 13 in total, signifies a united effort towards a greener future for the steel sector, right? So I hope you can understand it will help in both environmental sustainability or environmentally sustainable practices, as well as producing steel, so not compromising with steel. Now Competition Commission of India updates, so that we will see in the next class. So I hope you have enjoyed this current affair updates. This will help you in your exam preparation as well. So stay tuned to Victory IAS YouTube channel to receive more updates on current affairs, right? And see you in the next class. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.